Bloody Mary, the Dare. It was a chilly October evening, leaves crackling underfoot, the moon half hidden behind drifting clouds. A group of 5 teenagers, Maya, Lucas, Elena, Rashid, and Kate, huddled in the attic of the abandoned Davenport house, armed with candles, flashlights, and a single dusty mirror framed in tarnished silver. It had been found propped against an upstairs wall, gleaming in the gloom as though craving attention. Reviving Bloody Mary in a real mirror is so cliché, Kate scoffed, hugging her knees. The rest laughed nervously, the storm outside ratcheting up the tension. Lucas, always the one to push things, leaned over the mirror. We've done this before. Nothing ever happens. But late October in a derelict mansion? This'll be epic. He winked at Maya. Maya shook her head. I don't know, Lucas. This place gives me the creeps. She glanced at the mirror again. Something glinted behind the glass at first. She thought it was just the candlelight. But what if it was something else? Come on, Lucas urged, pulling aside the heavy velvet curtain over the attic window. The world outside lay wrapped in deep shadow. The hush pressed in. We'll say Bloody Mary 3 times. Then we get a Snapchat. If something jumps out, we bolt. Easy. Eyes met. Hesitantly, Maya exhaled, bracing herself. Okay, let's do it. They lit the single candle on the dusty floor, which cast elongated shadows against the sloping walls. In the narrow circle of light, the mirror glowered black. Elena volunteered to say it. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Silence. A gust of wind rattled the attic window. The candle flickered. The others watched the mirror intently. The inner sprawl of droplets across the glass, like dripping wax. But no flame had been disturbed. A shadowy silhouette seemed to flicker within the Marora pale face, contorted in anguish, hair soaked and matted. The air turned icy. Kate screamed. Rashid leapt and snuffed the candle, plunging them into darkness. Scrambling, they fumbled for lights, but every flashlight clicked with dead batteries. Panic consumed them. In the pitch black, they heard it, a soft, rasping breath. Something coming closer. And then, in the dark, her voice, a guttural whisper, barely audible but bone-chilling. Will you set me free? The haunting. Light burst back from Elena's flashlight, landing on the mirror. The glass was now cracked, a jagged spiderweb across a surface that bled fresh, dark red. The reflection, 4 terrified faces, and behind them her, a woman in a flowing white gown, hair tangled and dark as oil, her skin porcelain pale, eyes harboring endless grief and rage. Elena, Maya shouted, grabbing the flashlight as it spun loosely in her hand. Every attempt to flee down the attic stairs failed. The trapdoor slammed shut as though unseen hands had pulled it. Rashid lunged at the trapdoor, but his fingers slipped on damp wood. The attic's oppressive silence resumed. Only the woman, Mary, remained silent in the mirror, inches from their faces. Kate vomited, backing away. What? What do you want? Mary's reflection opened her mouth. Blackness deeper than midnight. I want to be remembered, to be released. A voice in Lucas's head. If you break me, I can go. Elena whispered, hand trembling. We need to break the mirror? Mary shook her head violently, nearly cracking the glass further. No, you'll trap me forever. The teens froze, uncertain. Something compelled them to obey, but the terror held them back. Lucas's eyes widened. He recalled old folklore. Bloody Mary wants to be seen, her story told. Only when truly remembered does she dissolve. Maya spoke through trembling lips. We have to tell your story. And Mary's eyes flashed not relief, but hunger. The revelation. Gathered in the attic's dusty gloom, they listened as the mirror's figure drifted into speech-mental voice, echoing inside their minds. She was Mary Davenport, born 1862, daughter of this very house's owner. She fell in love with a stable boy, Lucas Davenport Phillip. When her father caught them in secret, he forbade the union. Mary's love refused to end. He arranged for Philip to be detained, beaten, and banished. Distraught, Mary confronted her father, who coldly declared, "You chose blood over family. Regret your choice." They quarreled. Mary cursed him with wild tears. That night, she snuck to Philip's room, found him lifeless, dead by strange means. She swore vengeance and died days later under mysterious circumstances, found with no pulse, pale as moonlight, eyes crowded with torment. Now entwined in sorrow, Mary's spirit lingered, trapped behind the mirror, doomed to repeat her agony until freed. The warped mirror itself had been a recent inheritance moved into the old attic years ago, and now a conduit. Elena gasped. "You were murdered poisoned?" Mary's voice quiet for a moment. Father used my grief against me." Their candle flickered. Outside, wind wailed like lamenting ghosts. "The bargain?" Lucas swallowed, noticing Mary's hand pressing on her throat in the mirror-silent plea. "We'll tell everyone who you are. We'll record your story. Your death will mean something." Mary's lips curved into a tortured, sorrowful smile. The mirror cracked further. A drop of blood fell on the floor. Only the blood dripped, no voice or demand. Then Mary's reflection began to fade. The trapdoor clicked open. The attic light seemed restored. Outside, the teenagers stumbled downstairs, dazed. They found their phones each, sporting a dozen dramatic snaps and one thudding video recording on Kate's phone. A crackling visage of Mary's pale face, mouth opening, and the camera died. The escape. They tumbled out into the night air, shaken and white-faced. Someone suggested sunrise, someone whispered about light. They made a pact to share Mary's Talia creepypasta, real and raw. Each month, they would return to add details, to document. Maya deleted the camera footage too vivid, but the photos remained, glass strips, Ralph's reflection flickering, Kate's pale face pressed against the mirror. That night, bedridden dreams tormented them. Mary's voice breathed, "Tell them, don't stop." A patch of water formed under their mattress. Eleanor awoke at exactly 3:17 a.m. to see the window square glow with a pale face looming just outside. Mary's wrist pressed against the cold glass. The unraveling. Weeks passed. The group started publishing their story online. Comments flooded in. Videos and photos went viral. News stations came calling. The Davenport house became a tourist site. Visitors reported scratching noises at night, phantom sobs, the smell of damp roses, footsteps in empty hallways. Until one night in mid-December, during a live broadcast, Kate was on screen next to the mirror in the Davenport attic. Behind her, the archway began to fracture. Then blood seeped across the mirror frame. She turned, face draining color, the camera glitching, browsed in static until a scream, then silence. The feed cut. The final revelation. The remaining three rushed up at first light. The front door lay ajar. Kate was gone, the attic empty, the mirror smashed. 5-foot shards carpeted the floor, dark ribbons of blood trailing toward the stairwell, then disappearing into the floorboards below. Police found no sign of Kate or her phone, only the shard sand, a scribbled message on a half-crushed notepad. Thank you. Epilogue. To this day, those with a piece of the shattered mirror report seeing Mary's reflection in every shard inside car mirrors, phone screens, shop windows. They say if you look for her at midnight, whispering Bloody Mary into any mirror, she'll reflect your face, and she's always smiling. There's no telling where Mary ended upon this side of the glass, or free in the world. But now, whenever someone dares the chant, a distant voice carries on the wind, a whisper that chills the soul. Tell them, don't stop.